Always good to be back in action at Belmont Park. A rough, rainy, cold Thursday morning actually gave way to a pretty nice afternoon as we can see the soft light glistening off the famed ivy walls here at beautiful Belmont Park. Richard Migliore, Jason Blute alongside. Glad you're with us. You've made it in time for this edition of Belmont Insider. So we get back in action, Mig. Final 9 racing cards at this fall meet. It's pretty crazy how fast the time's gone.
It really has. I thought Saratoga went by fast, but it seems like this fall meeting here is going by even faster. And it's just what you alluded to. It's such a gray, dreary day early, but it really turned around, and it's an absolutely gorgeous evening.
And the forecast looks terrific. Empire Showcase Day here Saturday. Really the big, fond farewell that we've come to love over the years at Belmont. More on that in a few moments. We do begin the show, and it's a tough way to start things out, but it is the reality of what happened Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday evening with the young rider, 17-year-old apprentice Juan Saez, losing his life, went down in a spill at Indiana Downs. And it's been a case over the last couple of days where the industry has begun paying tribute, and jockeys all across the country have been showing their solidarity. In fact, we had them meeting today after race number 1.
Yeah, and you know, it's something that all riders share. You know that this kind of danger lurks around every corner, and it's just such a tragedy. He was such a beautiful young man, had a great attitude, had a wonderful way about him. His smile could light up the entire racetrack, and obviously extremely talented. But you know, when we lose somebody so young, and it just touches everybody's lives, and it underscores just how dangerous a job it is.
Right, this is a job, and at times you forget. You're handicapping, you're betting, you're watching these amazing athletes, both the horses and the jockeys, compete on the track. You kind of forget, at least I do at times, that there is an ambulance following these brave men and women when they essentially go to the office every single day.
Yeah, and you think about how many races a guy can ride in any one given day, and nobody goes out there expecting the worst can happen, but the worst can happen, and this is the worst thing that could possibly happen. Just a young man whose life ended way, way too soon.
Well, for a lot of us, life would be pretty bleak without thoroughbred racing, thoroughbreds, and life at the track in general. So with that in mind, Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund, they've got a website, they've got Facebook, they've got Twitter. You can go, you can text, you can donate and do the right thing, and please do that with the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund. Now, a familiar name of the past, and perhaps a horse that was right on the cusp of really becoming a solid Grade 1 animal, Normandy Invasion. He's laid up yet again after fracturing one of his sesamoids a few weeks ago at Delaware Park.
Yeah, a horse with an immense amount of ability, but obviously has had his issues over the years. And you'd like to think if they could ever get him where he could stay together and put together a comprehensive campaign, he might be able to fulfill that promise he showed. I mean, even Derby Week, the way he worked, it was so fast. I wasn't a particularly big fan of the work, but it definitely pointed out his ability.
Well, this was his comeback race, in fact, starting off the year as a 4-year-old for Chad Brown, and he looked like he could certainly blossom into one of the best handicap horses in the country. It really didn't pan out that way. Powis Malice defeated him out at Fairgrounds, and he has not run Normandy Invasion since finishing 10th here at Belmont Day in the Metropolitan. As usual, we wish him a speedy recovery, and maybe he's back as a 5-year-old with trainer Larry Jones.
Well, it is such a shame because you know the ability's there, but obviously one thing or another has stopped him along the way. But it takes so many things to make a really good horse. They have to have the physical constitution as well as the mental constitution to do it.
It's some somber news starting off this show and the week, but we do have to take care of business on Belmont Insider. And with that in mind, 9 races today, a pick 6 carryover of nearly $100,000. Sloppy through 2/3 of the card. In fact, the main was still sloppy for race number 4, opening leg of the pick 6. Nice group of 2-year-old maidens in this off-the-turf race, and we send it up to John and Brielle.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Hesitant start for number 3, World Approval, and he is at the back of the pack. Leave the Light On is a first out with Mandolin Winds on the outside in second. It's a break of 1.5 lengths. River of Dreams down on the inside in third. Global Warriors in fourth. King of New York on the outside in fifth. Then a break, 6 lengths. Back to our Lukester, and the trailer is World Approval. The opening quarter mile in the slop in 23 and 2/5 seconds. Leave the Light On leads the field here by 3/4 of a length. Mandolin Winds on the outside in second, and River of Dreams is just in behind, running in third. King of New York in the clear on the outside in in fourth. Then it's Global Warrior in fifth. 4 more to World Approval and Our Lukester. Leave the Light On continues to lead as they round the far turn, around a half in 47 3/5 seconds. Leave the Light On by a half length. Mandolin wins on the outside, second by a length and a half. King of New York is third as River of Dreams now drops back a bit in fourth. Our Lukester on the outside, then Global Warrior and World Approval. Leave the Light On. Mandolin wins. Their heads apart as they come for the top of the stretch. King of New York is still in third. It is Leave the Light On, trying to go wire to wire here. Leave the Light On's got a 3-length lead. King of New York on the outside of Mandolin wins. And now there's an 1/8 of a mile to the finish. Leave the Light On, 3.5-length lead. King of New York is second. Mandolin wins is third. It's Leave the Light On, and he's going to do it here over the wet going. Leave the Light On by 4. King of New York second best, then Mandolin wins, and a tight photo for fourth between River of Dreams.
Chad Brown, second time out, leading trainer at the meet, and what can you say? Leave the Light On? Well, he was terrific here. You can turn the light off after he galloped home much the best.
Yeah, he put them to sleep. He just galloped away from them. I think this definitely flatters Daredevil, who obviously maybe doesn't need to be flattered after that huge run in the Champagne, but here you got a horse beating 17.5 lengths to him in the mud and comes back and wins in muddy conditions. Son of Horse Greeley.
Yeah, they paid a lot for this guy. I mean, Horse Greeley only stands for $2,500. This guy went as a 2-year-old in training earlier in the year for $210K. And Claravich Stables and Bill Lawrence, they really seem to have a keen eye. They spend money, and we love that, but really a keen eye as to their selection process. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Whoever helps them pick the horses, or if they pick the horses, my hat's off to them. They consistently come up with running 2-year-olds, and they have a good eye. They must know what they're looking at because they deliver.
Well, that horse would jumpstart a big afternoon for Gerard Ortiz, our 22-year-old native of Puerto Rico. 4 wins altogether as we get you back. Race number 6 off the turf, 7 furlongs on the main track, which was still, this was the last sloppy track race, and we go back to Johnny I.
From the outside, Celebrated Talent from the rail, and Knock Her Off in between those two. It's Celebrated Talent who has the lead. Knock Her Off, the gray, running in second. Spartiatus is now in third. Street Gent is fourth. My Name is Michael down at the rail in fifth, and Santa Elf trails the field in sixth as they head up the sloppy backstretch, and it's Celebrated Talent 3/4 of a length over Knock Her Off after an opening quarter in 22 2/5 seconds. A gap of 3 back to Spartiatus in third. Street Gents in between horses. My Name is Michael down at the rail, and it's another 3 to Santa Elf. Midway around the far turn, Celebrated Talent and Knock Her Off, and the two of them are heads apart for the lead. 3 lengths to Spartiatus in third. The half went in 45 1/5 seconds. Knock Her Off on the outside of Celebrated Talent. The two of them right together at the top of the stretch. Celebrated Talent coming back again on the inside of Knock Her Off. The two of them are heads apart as Santa Elf moves into third and is gaining ground on the outside. It's a furlong to the finish. Celebrated Talent. Here's Santa Elf up on the outside to take the lead. Santa Elf in front as they come for the wire. Santa Elf from off the pace. Celebrated Talent was second, close for third between Knock Her Off and Spartiatus.
And certainly Luis Saez, who was originally scheduled to ride Santa Elf, has taken off his mounts. He's not riding to opening weekend at the Big A, but he's on our mind, and we hope he's doing okay along with his family down in Panama. Joel Rosario, in the meantime, picking up the mount on Santa Elf, who was just full of run.
Yeah, full of run. Certainly delivered a well-timed ride. A shame for the runner-up. Celebrated Talent did all the dirty work, fought the good fight, and then was ripe to be picked off late.
I'm watching that race at the 16th paw. I said, it's that old, won the battle, lost the war, man.
Absolutely.
Had the gray Knock Her Off, put him away, and just could not hold off Santa Elf for Bruce Brown. And Tony McCarthy, a native of Saratoga, who's done okay for himself professionally and is winning races here at Belmont Park. As we take a little time out on Belmont Insider, we have a lot more of the Mig and I coming your way.
Now's the time to sign up for a Naira Rewards account with our new Bet 100, Get 100 bonus. We want to deposit $100 into the accounts of new signups during the Belmont Fall Championship meet. Just enroll, bet $100, and you'll receive $100 in your account the next day. It's that easy. Plus, new signups can access the brand new NYRA HD app and watch live streaming races on their smartphones. Sign up today on track or at NYRArewards.com.
It is the second to last weekend at Belmont Park, forthcoming with that pretty sunset. And again, it turned out to be a pretty nice day in which the main was sloppy races 1 through 6, muddy races 7 through 9, and the forecast looks terrific on really the last major swan song of this fall meet at Saturday's Empire Showcase Day.
I've always loved Empire Showcase Day. Unfortunately, there's been a few years I've had to miss it. You know, since I've done riding, having to be out of town covering other racing. But I'm here this week, and I'm thrilled to be here. I love the New York breds. I'm a New York bred. I think our New York breds have come so far over the last 30 or so years. They're just amazing how the strides they've made, I should say. Back in the early 80s, you could differentiate a New York bred from a Kentucky bred. You can't do that anymore.
And the scope, diversity, and just overall, I think, size and grandeur on a day like Saturday really exemplifies what New York is all about, where we'll have the 25 or so vendors down on the first floor of the grandstand, the best New York breds, at least some of them in training, the ones that aren't preparing for the Breeders' Cup. The fans will be out, and I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped.
I am, too. It almost feels like this time of year, to me, this day is almost like a dress rehearsal for Breeders' Cup. Obviously, it's a smaller scale, but the excitement level from all the breeders that come out on that day, and I get to see a lot of people that I don't see most of the year because they're here that day. They've either got something in there running or something they've bred running.
And not 10, but 11 for you here on Saturday with an early first post at 12:20 and a live telecast on MSG Plus as I ramble on from 5 to 6 p.m. with the Mig, Maggie, and Andy. Let's move on to race number 7, opening race, if you will, over muddy, Big Sandy, as we go back to Johnny I from the gate.
From the extreme outside, it's Royal Courier sprinting out for the lead. Royal Courier has cleared the field and has moved towards the insides, in front by a length and a half. Bernie the Maestro is racing in second. And Regulus is next in third. Doc Allman down at the rail in fourth. In between horses is Maturis. Then it's Jones' Choice and a break of 3 to Back 40, who's at the back of the pack in seventh. The quarter, 22 1/5 seconds. Royal Courier out there and in front by 3.5 lengths. Bernie the Maestro giving chase in second. It's another 3 to Regulus, who is third by a half length. Doc Allman down at the rail runs in fourth. Then it's Jones' Choice, followed by Maturis and Back 40. Royal Courier takes the field to the head of the stretch, ran a half in 45 1/5 seconds over the muddy going, and it is Royal Courier in front by 4. Bernie the Maestro in second, Regulus on the outside, then Jones' Choice as they come down for the 16th pole. It's Royal Courier with the lead, Bernie the Maestro, and on the outside, here is Regulus, who's putting in a late run. Regulus going after Royal Courier, but it looked like Royal Courier held on by a diminishing neck.
Just brings it, this guy. 6-year-old gelding by Red Bullet. Big speed and just enough to hold on beneath Erad.
Yeah, and he was saved by the wire. The Regulus really kind of settled, found his stride, and came running hard. Royal Courier, this is the first time he's ever performed this well over a muddy surface, or less than fast surface, I should say.
And he got the 6.5. 3/4, no problem.
Yep.
6.5, kind of stretching it, but the wire came when it did, and he wins on the drop-in for $32,000. Second win today for David Jacobson. And is it an advantage for a guy like Jacobson who can be pretty aggressive with his stock?
Oh, absolutely. He's going to take edges. He's going to run them where they can win. And that's how you win consistently and win as many races. I mean, David Jacobson did set the record last year for most wins ever by a trainer in New York. And you do that by placing your horses where they absolutely can win.
Well, we've got Tismay West, another Jacobson winner on today's card as part of our rapid-fire Pick 6 highlights. So here we go.
It's Jigsaw and Manuel Franco on top. Successful Brothers is all out in second. Jigsaw's got a 3-length lead and an 1/8 of a mile to the finish. Successful Brothers in second. Farther back, it's Indian Nobility, Michael with us, and Mac Miller. Jigsaw holding on to the lead over Successful Brothers. Jigsaw by 2.5 as they come for the wire. Jigsaw the winner Then Successful Brothers 10 lengths back to McMillan track. They head into the stretch, and it is Boss Daddy now with a 4-length lead. Morse down at the rail, Mach 7 on the outside, giving chase to Boss Daddy. Mach 7 is in second and cutting a bit into that lead. Boss Daddy in front. Mach 7 continues to move up on the outside. Boss Daddy trying to hold off Mach 7. They come for the wire. It's going to be a photo, and it's a photo finish. The late charging Mach 7 off the turn and enters the stretch. And it's Tiz May West in front here. Mononoke on the outside. Zimbabwe Lady is now gaining ground. Tiz May West in front as they pass the 8th pole. Tiz May West by 3. Then Mononoke and Zimbabwe Lady. Tiz May West. Tiz the winner here. And she won by 5. Looked like Mononoke did get second over Zimbabwe Lady. The field comes off the turn and enters the stretch. Jilly Mack is now advancing on the outside. It's Glenbrook and Jilly Mack, and now Jilly Mack's in front. Glenbrook is back running in second. On a Snowy Evening is third, and Roman Rain. Jilly Mack with the lead. On a Snowy Evening gains on the outside. It's Jilly Mack, and On a Snowy Evening, the two of them noses apart on the wire. Jilly Mack drifting out in the stretch. 5 seconds. Nani Kani in front with Sister Margaret on the outside. Nani Kani by 2. Sister Margaret in second. Legally Bay moves to third. Julesco is dropped back, and Archer Queen. Nani Kani on the inside and Sister Margaret on the outside. It's Nani Kani and Sister Margaret. The two of them are heads apart, and Sister Margaret takes the lead in deep stretch and gives Erod Ortiz Jr. his 4th win on the card. Sister Margaret over Nani Kani, and it's the Lewis Dinner with a 4-length lead. RY Squadron in second. The Lewis Dinner has the lead as they come through the stretch. It's the Lewis Dinner in control here, in front by 6. RY Squadron a clear-cut second. The Lewis Dinner a clear-cut winner. RY Squadron was second, then Party Time Chill and Krista's Persona.
Erad's had a couple of 5-win days in the past, both over at the Big A. Had a shot to get to that five mark, but was second best in the nightcap with RY Squadron, that is, who was a well-clear second behind the Lewis Dinner.
It will happen. He's too young, and he's doing too good. Eventually, he'll win 5. Who knows, maybe even more here at Belmont Park.
Well, Dick Essler's gotten on an okay run after having a quiet sort of August at Saratoga and brought back Sister Margaret off the bench. She had not started since the spring-summer meet and was pretty game and determined running down Nani Kani. Do you give her extra points for overcoming a wet track and having to really grind away at the horse on the lead, Big?
You know, I do, but I also think that Irad was riding her so confidently. It seemed like he really thought he had this other horse measured. And if you really go back and look at the videotape, he flags her with the stick, but he never reaches back and hits her. He didn't even turn his stick up till almost the 8th pole. And you can see he was kind of confident that he was going to grind her down and maybe didn't get to the bottom of the well with her.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, Erad's a guy, began his riding career in his native Puerto Rico, only won his first race just slightly shy of 4 years ago, and he's currently 3rd nationally in money won with $16.2 million plus.
It's huge, and you know what? He came out of Puerto Rico very well schooled, just like his brother, just like Manny Franco. You like to see these kids have that great foundation before they get here, and they were ready for the kind of success they're experiencing.
Well, some ground was gained for sure with Erod Ortiz and Belmont Park's rider standings, with only 8 cards remaining this fall out of 38 total. Javier with 35, and look who's in second, and that's with Joel winning a couple today.
Yeah, and Joel back from Kentucky. He's making some noise as well, but where have we seen this before? Irad charging late at Javier. They dead heated at the Belmont Spring Meet. He ran out of track at Saratoga, or I should say he got held off in Saratoga by Javier, but here we are in the same position again.
Pretty amazing, and Chad Brown, who had that good-looking second-time starter by Horace Greeley, he's your leading trader with 24.
Yeah, Chad just hitting on all cylinders all year. David Jacobson revving up, having a great meet, and you know, at Aqueduct, he's going to make a lot of noise.
And Mike Dubb, I mean, he just seems to be racking up at least one W with each racing card, had a big weekend, and he was back in the winner's circle again with the Lewis Dinner in race number 9.
A guy who claims horses with a plan, spots his horses aggressively, knows how to win, a student of the game.
And speaking of claims, let's check them out on a sloppy, rainy Thursday, or at least rainy morning Thursday. Pretty nice day out here. Jig Chickasaw, 2 weeks out from Halloween, scored a much the best win in the first race, and there were a whole bunch of claims, including a couple by Abigail Adsit.
Yeah, Black Swan stable reaching in for Jigsaw. That's John DeStefano, and nice to see them step up to the claim box. But we've had a lot of action at the claim box all meet long.
That old Pro Royal Courier claimed off the drop for 32 by Michelle Nevin, and Vincent Scuderi's got the winner of the Matron, who won here a few weeks ago, and Paula's Silver Lining. Maybe the tempted opening weekend at the Big A might be the spot we see her next. For us, next up, a quick commercial break, and the Big and I back in the home stretch on this Thursday edition of Insider.
Now's the time to sign up for a Naira Rewards account with our new Bet 100, Get 100 bonus. We want to deposit $100 into the accounts of new signups during the Belmont Fall Championship meet. Just enroll, bet $100, and you'll receive $100 in your account the next day. It's that easy. Plus, new signups can access the brand new Naira HD app and watch live streaming races on their smartphones. Sign up today on track or at NairaRewards.com.
Well, you can bet that cross-country double every day here at Belmont Park. I mean, two historic racing institutions. I mean, really the leaders on both the East and West Coast combined in one unique wager. The nightcap at Belmont Park, the fourth or fifth race, depending upon the day of the week at beautiful Belmont Park. And what's it like being out at Santa Anita at this time of the year with the Breeders' Cup about 2 weeks away?
Well, it's a lot of excitement, obviously, and the build-up. It's still a pretty warm time of year out in California. And one thing about it, the morning workouts are spectacular because you have that amazing backdrop, those mountains in the distance. It's really a beautiful setting.
Well, no shot of us playing for a double pick six carryover tomorrow. Card was fairly formful. Santa Elf at $10 in race number 6 or 7 might have been the toughest winner in the pick six sequence. That being said, we hope to be back on the turf tomorrow. The forecast, again, it's really pleasant as we hit the Friday preview on this show and we head to race number 6, a New York bred, two other than $40,000 optional claimer, and a race that features Street Game, who is the horse to beat.
Yeah, he's definitely the horse to beat because I'm pretty sure we're going to be on the turf tomorrow, but that turf is going to have some give to it, and he has performed extremely well when the ground is anything less than firm. He ran well last time here when he was second best on yielding ground, so you got to think he's going to be very tough to beat.
And the horse outrunning him, Ocala Jim, will come back Saturday in the Mohawk at a big price, running against Lubash and King Creasa as we check out analysis and went the day well from a slow-paced race on the Widener September 13th.
Yeah, and it was a slow-paced race. Neither one of them has run ever particularly fast, although Went the Day Well did back when he was a Kentucky Derby contender. That was a very long time ago now, over 2 years ago. But it's interesting, you've got a horse that would actually ran well in the Derby to finish 4th here in a race on the turf on a Friday at Belmont.
Does Jimmy Jerkins maybe move him up?
Yeah, I think Jimmy Jerkins is always a positive in any situation, and I'm sure he's going to be fit and he'll have him ready.
All right, race number 8 on the afternoon, main track. Not the strongest, and we're always candid and honest here at Insider. Not the strongest day other than you will come across on this circuit, and with that in mind, it's really about two major contenders, the first of which, Madaket Millie, who's trained by Chad Brown.
Yeah, and she's got a lot of good things on her side. Obviously, the leading rider, the leading trainer, Javier Castano, Chad Brown, and the outside post position, I think, is such a huge advantage going a mile at Belmont. And it's not that she needs a great deal of advantage either. I think she could be the best horse getting the best situation.
Pebble Beach Baby, the other main danger coming in from Parks, Ramon Preciado. Do you respect this guy when he ships in?
Yeah, I think you have to, and you have to respect that this horse came from Del Mar, where ran okay on the synthetic there, and then wins first time here at Parks. And you can see having an alter course there, late stretch, and gets up late under Pablo Fregoso, who when he was an apprentice used to ride everything from off the pace, and then somewhere along the way became more of a speed rider. I like him from off the pace.
Well, is he riding down at Parks, Pablo Fregoso?
Yeah, he's riding full-time at Parks. But tomorrow she gets Angel Arroyo, who had been riding at Parks, did extremely well, and it's actually making a little noise here. I like the way he's been riding.
He's the transplant. He's had some success with Ramon Preciado in the past down south as we check out race number 9. It's always nice ending a day with turf maidens, and we get that here on Friday as we go back to our first replay mid-September with Social Affair for the Phipps Stable and Throckmorton for Team Valor.
Yeah, I really liked Social Affairs race here. I mean, I guess you like both of them. Throckmorton had that crazy trip in Saratoga and then kind of ran I thought just evenly last time. But you know what? Maybe he didn't get enough out of the first race, being trapped so much. Certainly should be a fitter horse. So I think the race definitely runs through the two of them.
Darley's got an AP Indy homebred named Osland, who's run okay on the dirt, trying the turf. What's the story, my friend?
Well, he's been entered twice on the turf, and both times it came off. So you know they've had it in their head to try the turf for a long time. And he's not a horse that has like tremendous workouts on the dirt. So maybe he doesn't really give you the impression that he's going to be good on the dirt, although he's run some winning races, just missed last time. But it'll be interesting to see if that AP Indy pedigree gets over on the grass.
Well, it wasn't long ago, Andy said, if the race comes off Thursday's 4, bet your money, leave the light on. He will try to keep it going along with Maggie as we check out who's good here tomorrow afternoon.
Thanks a lot, guys. Well, with the uncertainty with the weather and whether or not we'll be on the turf for all the races on Friday, stuck to a dirt race for Friday's races. And I'm looking at the 4th race, which will start the pick 6, a maiden claiming race. And I like the 5, Bad Throne. I think he's found the right spot. I like the fact they used a turf race as a prep for him off the layoff. And this is a horse that's had some trips in a couple of his races. He went bad in his 3rd start, but then he had the layoff, turf race a prep. Now he's in the right surface against the right field. And if Bad Throne is ever going to win a race, it's going to be Friday in Friday's 4th race as we head up the paddock to Maggie.
Thanks, Andy. Well, for today's Paddock Insider, we take a look at the Friday card, and I'll stick around and wait till race number 9. It is a maiden special weight for 3-year-olds and up. We're going the 1 mile and 1/16 distance on the turf. Now, I think we will be on the turf, considering the sun has been out since race 1 here on this Thursday. So I think we should be pretty dry by last race tomorrow. We will check in with number 10. That is Idiosyncratic, a second-time starter from the Chad Brown barn, who was in a pretty roughly run race first time out at Saratoga. It began to rain. The course was a bit slick. And 2, he made a middle move while traveling about 5 to 6 wide, was pushed out and kind of slipped on the second turn, and really had the worst, almost the worst of it all. And I think in the paddock, he was a horse who wasn't quite necessarily all that ready for his first start. He could have been just a touch more together, but nonetheless was a very good-looking horse, very well balanced, and I think he's well meant for this second start here. So Idiosyncratic, your Paddock Insider for today. Guys?
George Weaver, Chad Brown for the dynamic duo. Good stuff with them. For the Mig and me, it is time to say goodnight. Rangers got to get a win. Let's go, Rangers. We'll see you tomorrow night right here on MSG+.
Now's the time to sign up for a Naira Rewards account with our new Bet 100, Get 100 bonus. We want to deposit $100 into the accounts of new signups during the Belmont Fall Championship meet. Just enroll, bet $100, and you'll receive $100 in your account the next day. It's that easy. Plus, new signups can access the brand new Naira HD app and watch live streaming races on their smartphones. Sign up today on track or at NairaRewards.com.